Welcome back, and today we are going to be playing out the Italian Gripen. Now this one comes with the Hungarian subtree, and the main reason I want to cover it again today is very easy. It got an obscenely big nerf and it's now absolutely unflyable. It lost an entire half degree a second in the sustained rate. Now this sounds like I'm being sarcastic, and I partially am, because well, half a degree of rate is really not all that much. However, why does it get half a degree a second less rate is the more important part. Now I'm not entirely sure on the actual specifics in the flight model change. However, it loses a lot more speed now, and that is one of the reasons why it rates a lot less now, or at least a little bit less. So the flight performance is now not nearly as bullshit as it once was. Now you are still gonna win against literally everything. Yes, you heard that right. The Block 10 F-16A, which is probably the closest competitor to this thing, it's still not gonna win. It's infinitely closer than it was, and the flight performance definitely isn't as bullshit, especially at 12.7, but paired up against the F-16A Block 10, it is going to win about 6 out of 10 times. So it's slightly better than the F-16A, it's basically equal, and because of that it's actually kind of hard to test, so take these numbers with a bit of a grain of salt, they are basically the same. And I think it's still the best top tier plane in the game right now, despite it being nerfed about 3 or 4 times. The flight performance got changed about twice, and it's definitely at the best healthy state in the game right now. And of course the countermeasures got changed a little bit, so the flare changes are not that drastic when it comes to this thing. However, it does make you run out quicker. And why is that, you might ask? Because it actually drops in a different pattern now. Instead of dropping 2 every pop, it drops 2, then 4, then 4, and then 2. And if you're running mixed, it's gonna be 4, 8, 8. And of course the flares are not nearly as hot as they were before. The luminosity changes has kind of changed the way this plane acts around missiles. If you are facing AIM-9Ms, this isn't really an issue, because they don't really care about the hotness of the flare, so to speak. R-73s, if they are shot from directly behind, and if you are running on only the ball pods, if you run out of your main large caliber flares, you actually do need to turn off your afterburner. Now, running out of the main large caliber flares and not being out of the ball pods essentially never really happens, because you just have so obscenely many of them. But overall the kit is still extremely strong. You still have your HMD, you still have your 6 AIM-9Ms, you still have the best flight performance in the game, albeit a lot closer than it was before. It's just extremely easy to play, and it's brain off mode. And with this introduction I want to introduce you probably my worst session to date at top tier. I was playing like absolute fucking garbage, and there is really no way to sugarcoat it, and I thought, well, I'm gonna show you some of my highlights in misplays as well as just some average footage in the background. So yes, we are gonna be landing and leaving and obviously winning the game a couple of times the boring way, but I do want to keep it in here just to give you a little bit of a showcase what happens if you are not being very vigilant, if you're not looking around enough, and if you are just making errors. I was opening poorly, I was flying into the wrong direction, and I was just not picking my fights completely perfectly. Now, there are some instances where I just got fucked over by the game. Missiles or AIM-9Ms being flared by a singular flare that wasn't even in the seeker. Horrible positioning, flying into the wrong direction, horrible openings, and overall I didn't have a good time. And it's not because the plane is bad right now. I still did decently okay, but it just... I felt really bad about myself, so we are gonna laugh at it together. So we just missiled out the F-20, we are gonna turn back in, and we see this Su-27 and the entire enemy team on the left here. And we need to get out, we need to start killing some people. The issue is, with a plane like this, in a carry situation, if there's too many people around, you can't really reliably kill people from the front because you only have AIM-9Ms equipped. Now we can run the sky flashes, that will give us maybe some kills, but I do think that the AIM-9Ms overall are a little bit more reliable, and I think that it's more worth picking than the AIM-7Es, because they are just not as good as they could be. So we killed the second guy as well after missiling the Su-27, and then we just kind of fly away. R-27's coming in, so I go to the deck to make sure that it gets moved. Again, we're staying low. We are trying to kind of desynchronize with our team. The issue is the matches are just so short that if you miss time by about 30 seconds, that's either the game being over, that's being the game being won, or the game being lost. And I took a little bit too long this time. So I come in from an off angle. I do manage to get some kills in. The F-16 eats the AIM-9M. We shoot a second one at the MiG-29. F-16 coming in from the right. We start dodging him. And a JS-39 as well as a MiG-29 directly from the front. Now we shoot the missile off the second that missile hits. That's another mistake, absolutely fantastic. Shoot another missile at the MiG-29 in the head-on. Why I need to kill these numbers down, luckily my friendly JS-39 has my ass covered. He then bails out for no goddamn reason, thank you very much. Probably desynced or something, and now we are in a 2v1. And the 2v1 is, well, after that clown show and all the paid actors. You saw that contrail up there. Yeah, keep that in mind throughout this fight, because I didn't see it. F-16 coming in from the front, I need to be wary of him. I'm gonna be mostly wary of him because I can pre-flare and flare the R-73 in my experience rather reliably, so I'm gonna be mostly looking at the F-16. I'm trying to keep my speed here, trying to get the Su-27 to go as slow as possible while I kind of keep this F-16 on the ropes. I both have them very slow at this point. And I feel like I'm doing pretty good. At this point, F-16, I have him by the balls. Su-27 is even slower. He is going to be a very easy kill. We miss everything and get a hit. And then pesky contrails, right? Yeah, I just wasn't looking around enough. And again, I got absolutely shafted. That was completely avoidable. And all I really had to do was just keep an eye on the third F-16. And if I had known he was there, I probably would have been able to win that. Mainly because the F-16C isn't that great of a dogfighter. Now we get into the massive furball, and I make the grave error of getting into the furball while everyone is looking at me. Luckily, on Afghanistan we have a lot of mountains, and we can actually use them to our advantage. So we fix this issue quite, well, not nicely, but we do fix it appropriately. We break line of sight, we get out of the way of everyone, and I just kind of let the furball happen on the other side of this mountain. Go ahead on with the MiG-27, take him out for dinner, he's on fire. And we are gonna go back to the main brunt of this fight now that they hopefully forgot about me. So we peek up over the mountain and we are gonna start launching our missiles off at hopefully people that aren't really paying attention to us. Now one of them manages to dodge, the other one not so much. I think that the other Gripen simply outran it because he is going hella quick right now. And I shot it from a decent amount of distance. Maybe he outran it, maybe he flared it, I am not entirely sure, but it doesn't really matter. He gets away, and we are now going to fly on the other side of the map and see if we can engage those three guys over there. But of course, by the time we get there, one of them already dies, the other two are slow, and this was my second issue with flying it the other day, because my timing was off, because I wasn't playing as well as I could. I just kept kind of missing every opportunity to get clips, get footage. And when I was in a position to get good footage, I just completely bottled it. I managed to die to things that I shouldn't die to way too many times, and it ended up basically ruining this video. Now, it's more of a general overview because I already covered this plane like 2 or 3 times, and I don't think it changed all that much. It's just a little bit less brain dead now, and you can't just full send it after the first person you see. And that's really the main difference between this video and the other 2 that I made. And, well, it's more of a PSA than a real review on the plane. I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it this time around. I feel a bit lazy for even publishing this thing to begin with. But I do want to have correct information out, and I do want to keep the planes on my channel up to date. So when people look up the latest videos, they can at least assume that what I'm saying is correct and that what I'm showing is actually representative of what the plane is like. Now, it kind of makes it easier because it is top tier, and basically every top tier flies the same way for like 90% of the time. So I do think that the general overview for once isn't too much of an issue, but I'm not trying to throw a pity party, I'm just trying to explain my reasoning. And if you are wondering why, well, the footage isn't as, well, interesting as it might be, there is my reasoning. And here is the clip that Seek also put on his channel. He's in a dogfight with the Su-27, and I can just kind of pitch up into him. And because at high altitude these things go forever, at 5 kilometers that thing will just be sent directly upwards. Now, he probably would have won that fight anyway, and I kind of might have stolen a bit of his content. However, because I killed that guy, he can then dive down to the blob down below and actually start cleaning up the 2 or 3 guys that aren't really paying attention around him, because he is now freed up to actually engage the rest of the lobby. That's really the danger about being at high altitude though. If you start dogfighting people, or if you're up there anyway, you get a massive contrail, everyone knows you're there. And if people don't want you to be up there, they can really just ruin your game, or at least lock you down to the point where you're gonna be stuck there until your team either wins or loses and you get absolutely nothing done. Alternatively, if one of his friendlies does the thing that I just did to that Su-27, you kinda get griefed in return. So going to high altitude and climbing all the way to the side is probably a little bit safer, so to speak. And if your team is winning, you are most likely going to get a few free kills as well as the win and probably not die. However, it is a very risky position to be in. If you do get locked down or if the team is losing, you also have no real way to turn the tide in your favor, which mostly ends up in a loss, because you can't really 1v6 at top tier at all, even if your Gripen is the best plane at top tier. So it's a little bit risky. If you like it, do what you want to, but if too many people do it at the same time, you're probably going to just have two big blobs that get absolutely minced by one big blob, like you're playing IREO. Also, Seek asked me to not put this team kill in the video, so here it is. Thank you all for watching, and you'll see me in the next one.